Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be HyuN, and we are going to be casting the semi-final, the very first semi-final of DreamHack Valencia. We're getting right into it right now. This is down to the final 4 players, and in this match it is going to be a ZVZ. It is going to be our red zone player HyuN, down the bottom left side of the map, and up the top right side of the map it is going to be GosWser. And yeah, man, two Zerg players that have done an absolutely smashing job so far in this tournament, and yeah, really good job. GosWser, actually, I don't know, man. I mean, HyuN's such a really strong player, but GosWser has just finished a ZVZ game versus Yu-Gi-Oh, beating him quite soundly 2 games in a row. So I guess his ZVZ is a little bit fresher here, having just done one, whereas HyuN has been smacking around Terran players all day. Sorry, he has just beaten Luciferon, and that's definitely not. Hold on a second, I'm missing something. Stupid pockets, it's not there. Oh well, we'll have to just go without it. And yeah, I mean, HyuN he just beat Luciferon, and that's really good. But he has to switch from 2 series in a row versus Terran into a ZVZ series, and I am quite sure that he is up for it. We can see that both players going for a pull before hatch, so going for a relatively safe route, I suppose, on this relatively small map with another Zerg player against you. It's if you go for a hatch first and your opponent doesn't, then you are probably going to be in a world of hurt, depending on what your opponent does. But I would expect, there we go, both players going for the hatch. HyuN gets it down just a couple of seconds earlier, so good for him. And yeah, both players following the same guide at the moment, although GosWser is 1 worker ahead. So just tiny little differences going on. But then again, HyuN did get his Overlord down a little bit sooner, and he's going to be getting a Joan down a little bit sooner. So overall, both of these players doing an excellent job. They're going to be within scan distance. They both see that the other person has a hatchery, so far so good. It is just, look at these timings, man, just beautifully out there. GosWser going to be getting out the extractor first, but I would not be surprised to see HyuN, there we go, getting his own extractor out. So very similar, but just little differences here and there, but they're pretty much evened out so far. Just the timings are different, and of course this extractor coming out a little bit sooner. I don't know if there's any exact meaning for it, if it's just the timing that he had the amount of minerals to do that. But he is going to get a little bit of a gas, more gas at the start. However, HyuN looks like he's going for an Overlord here, so we're starting to see a bit of a diverging build. Maybe not, but he's got that a bit sooner, as opposed to getting workers out and stuff like that. So yes, very interesting stuff there, and they're seeing a ton of queens coming out for both players. Of course, queens very good at holding off pretty much any sort of attack. Masslings, they don't do so well, but they're great against banelings, because they can snipe the banelings before they get into the worker line, and that's definitely something you need. So you got 2 or 3 queens up here, really nice to be able to defend banelings rolling into your base, or at least hit them, because you do not want to waste a baneling on taking out a queen. It's just a massive waste of a baneling. And here we go, GosWser getting a metabolic boost out, actually, so he's looking like he's going into some link pressure. HyuN choosing not to go for that research. He may be thinking about something else. He may be thinking about roaches coming out fairly soon, but he's actually pushing out the workers a little bit harder than GosWser, I feel like. And here we go, Spinecrawler coming out. So he is putting himself in a defensive mindset right now. He's it looks to me like he wants to do something a little bit tech heavy, a little bit something that's going to leave him a little bit vulnerable for a little while. And yes, he is getting the lair, and GosWser will have seen that, so he's got to be thinking maybe he's going something a little bit tech heavy, maybe mutas or something like that. Relatively fast lair. I'm not sure how stupidly fast it is. I don't think it's stupidly fast. I mean, GosWser's going for his own lair right about now, but he is getting down to Roach Warren after all. So yes, Roach Warren and Roach Attack coming down from HyuN. So we're going for a slightly diverging pass here, And yes, he's we'll see exactly how this goes. Yes. But of course GosWser going for his own Roach Warrior, so he's sort of letting himself open a little bit, got some different opportunities going down, but he is starting to fall behind on the workers a little bit. He's catching up really fast, and he's actually got his third base down. GosWser getting his third base down, but of course HyuN will be able to get the roaches out earlier than GosWser. Not a lot earlier. He didn't build him as soon as he possibly could, but he is getting his own third base out, so not going to be anything that he has to massively worry about. He's got it down, and this is a good time to get it. Even if he hadn't scouted this base, he probably would have gone out and got his own third base fairly soon anyway. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting the position of these, because he saw this one come out and he decided to put it up the top side instead of down the bottom. And I guess if he was going to be attacking this third base, most of his forces would be positioned up the top, so it makes sense to put this base up here anyway, so that the attacking forces can also serve as defensive forces. If he's going to attack this base and he has to defend this base as well, they're right across the other side of the map, man. That's a huge gap. He does not want to have to deal with that huge gap, so putting it up there gives him the advantage. Of course, it implicitly gives GosWser the advantage if GosWser decides to attack this third, but there's really not much you can do about it. And right now is going to be the race of the roach numbers, I believe. Although GosWser does have his third base down a little bit sooner, and that might allow him to pick up on the worker numbers. He's actually got a little bit ahead now, but HyuN is going to be breaching that gap with a whole bunch of drones. And if we have a look at the unit count, 23 versus 19, so HyuN is ahead by 4 roaches at the moment. However, he's not really been able to do much with them, and look at this GosWser, man, getting a ton more roaches coming out. So even up, but GosWser is going for a massive amount of roaches right now. Well, not massive, but fairly decent. So he should be able to hold off this fine, and so far we're looking like this is going to be a very even game. GosWser taking a little bit of a hit there. Mainly, I guess they could be workers there. He does look like he's taken a few workers down, so yeah, not at all good for him. And we will just have to see exactly what happens in this game. HyuN is not backing down. He's got a ton of roaches coming out to match GosWser, but GosWser getting a ton of roaches as well. So far it is just roach play all over the place, but this weapons level 2 upgrade coming out, GosWser has not started weapons level 2, so in a few minutes this could advantage HyuN greatly, but right now I think he's behind the pump a little bit. He doesn't have quite enough roaches. He's got a nice concave here with the spine crawler, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. GosWser just has so many more roaches than him, and he's just moving, and he scares away the main army. He's going to go in, he's going to snipe the hatchery and take out a lot of workers, and this is not looking good for HyuN right here. I mean, fair enough, he's sent in a couple of roaches in there, and he actually stopped this production with an overseer, which is an interesting question. If you do the overseer crap on this building, does it stop the eggs from coming out? I wouldn't have thought so. But it's an interesting question. And HyuN getting out a army, but he's still 10 behind, man. I do not know how it's happened, but I think he's getting a little bit of stuff that he probably doesn't need. 3 overseers, man. That's definitely some spending that he probably didn't need to spend. And yeah, just this little bit here and there, and he found himself low on the roach numbers. But of course, he's only got a few seconds left before he gets missile attacks level 2, and then he should be able to do something. But the question is, will missile attacks level 2 make up for the fact that his army size is just not as good? He's trying, but he's still 10 roaches behind. No matter what he does, he's 10 roaches behind. And I don't know if level 2 attacks can make up for a 10 attack, especially with this concave, man. He does not want to go into this concave right now. That is suicide. He's got to find another way to get out there, but unfortunately if he goes up the top rocks, he's going to find another concave waiting for him. He's doing another little bit of a run in there. And yeah, he needs to get some sort of advantage. He's rebuilding his third base, and GosWser has had a ton of workers harassed off this base. So far I wouldn't say that HyuN is at a massive disadvantage of losing his third base, simply because the pressure is put on GosWser's own third base, has been so crazy. Look at these roaches running in again, man. They've got to get headed off here. But you can see there's almost nobody mining on this base, man. They've been constantly hit by enemy roaches coming up the north path. And yeah, it's just going to be HyuN trying to make this level 2 weapons attack work, but he's only got a limited amount of time to make it work. Because, yeah, I mean, GosWser's going for his own level 2 weapons, and HyuN going for level 3 weapons, I'm not sure if he can afford it. I'm really not. He's going for level 1 armor. He's actually got that halfway done already, so yeah, really, really good job. Getting the upgrades going, keeping them going, and GosWser taking into a Hydralisk den. So, yeah, HyuN is definitely going to want to scout this. Where is the Hydralisk den? I am not sure where the Hydralisk den is. There it is. It's over there. So yes, if his overseers, he's got like crap loads of overseers all over the place. Look at these roaches, man. 4 of them splitting off, going in for a hit there. Will they see the Hydralisk den? I am not sure. They're going to snipe the queen. They're going to move in here. They're going to back up and start hitting some workers and stuff. There we go. I think they've seen the Hydralisk den. Meanwhile, a massive amount of forces coming in here, pushing in. GosWser has the concave though, but he's moving in a little bit close to allow the units at the back to get some hits off. And this is actually going pretty good. He's decided to leave. I thought he might have had a chance, but it was a very, very small chance here. Look at the amount of roaches these guys are building. 23 there, 28 there. And yeah, HyuN's building a crap load, but GosWser's building a crap load to match him. And now he's going to start to get the Hydras out. And yes, HyuN is going to be in a bit of trouble right now. We've got level 2 weapons almost coming out for GosWser. That's why HyuN moved in. He had 1 armor just finished up there, so he thought he had a chance. Here we go, the concave, and GosWser, even with his massive amount of units, is not going to want to run in there. He's 13 ahead. He's got a bit of an advantage here, not a lot though, and HyuN does have the 1 armor and the 1 weapons upgrades advantage, but he's choosing not to push in. I think he can hold off here. GosWser really going for it though, and I think he's got the numbers to really make this work. Even with the upgrade advantage, he just doesn't have the numbers, and here the Hydra's coming out as well. And HyuN, I don't know, man, he's just somehow he should be able to build a ton, but he seems to be a bit gas starved at the moment, unfortunately. I think he's just got to finish these guys off, just able to hold this off, but he's very, very close there. And there we go, pushing these guys back, pushing GosWser off the top. But GosWser has got his level 2 weapons down. He's still behind in terms of the armor. HyuN definitely has 1 armor more than him, but with the Hydras coming out and with the generally higher roach numbers that GosWser has been able to supply, I do not know if HyuN can hold this off. And he's taken actually he's either taken a few drone hits, or GosWser has just been going nuts on the drones, man, because he is behind. And GosWser continuing to produce drones. He obviously thinks he needs more economy to get the Hydras out, and I happen to agree with him. But the roaches here showing that it's not always a good idea to go for more drones, because there's just more fodder for the roaches running up there, doing a nice little hit up there, as he's done so many times in this game. And yeah, HyuN continuing to go for roaches, but he's a little bit behind, man. He must have seen this Hydralisk den when the roaches came in here. I hope he did. And yeah, I mean, if he doesn't do something about this, he's got to tech into Hydras of his own, I feel like is the only answer. Because, I mean, he could hope to overwhelm him with massive amount of roaches. He's trying to do that now. He's actually 10 up, simply because he's building roaches only, and GosWser is building Hydras. But if we look at the Hydra numbers, he's got 7 so far. Now I think there was 4 more coming out. So that is not a crappy number of Hydras. That's a decent number of Hydras. And look at these 3, man. These 3 in a bad position here, trying to hit that Overseer. They're just going to get wasted there. And yeah, losing 3 Hydras for no reason at all. Not a good idea. And these roaches, they think they got the numbers. They're pushing in. There's a bit of Hydras at the back, but with those other 3 snipes, there's only about 7 here. And he thinks he can do... But those Hydras are taking a massive toll on the roaches. I think he might still have enough though. But with reinforcements coming down, I do not think HyuN is going to win this battle. He's got his own reinforcements streaming in, but I don't know. It's looking extremely close here. I think with the reinforcements, GosWser should be able to hold it off. But I don't know. His forces are just dwindling here. Even with the nice conclave, I mean, HyuN has made up 2 concaves of his own. And I think actually HyuN might have it here. He could at least snipe the 3rd with these 4s. I believe anyway. Some more roaches coming out there. Yeah, there we go. He's ignoring the forces. He looks like he's just going for it. Or is he trying to hit these guys? It's very, very hard to tell. GosWser does have one armor out now. And yeah, HyuN is going to be rapidly taken apart by all of these roaches. But GosWser, seeing that he doesn't have the numbers to save his third base, is going to give the GG. So congratulations to HyuN for taking that first game. I thought a few times in that game that he was fatally behind in terms of the roach numbers, but GosWser, he got the third base, man, and that was a brilliant move, managing to get in there. He couldn't get in there because HyuN had the beautiful concave, so he went in the top side where HyuN couldn't quite get up a beautiful concave, pushed in there nice and hard, and defeated him with superior numbers and took out the third. And that was a great move, but I think HyuN sort of evened out that move by constantly sending in 3 or 4 roaches into this base to knock out the drones, man. It was just beautiful. He did that like 4 or 5 times. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, in the end, man, he said, I'll match my superior roach numbers against your Hydra tech, and we'll see who wins. And it turned out that HyuN won. So congratulations to him for excellent tactical moves and sticking to the roaches when a lot of players would have seen the opponent's Hydra den and they would have said, alright, I'm going to get Hydras too. Which, I don't know, I think that would have lost him the game because GosWser was ahead by about 10 workers. And HyuN would have fallen into the same pit that GosWser was in, where you just don't have enough economy to build up the number of Hydras you really want. So yeah, I don't know, man, but HyuN taking that game out with the roaches did a great job, and we will be seeing how these two players do in game number 2. So stay tuned for that. This has been HyuNMuppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.